So today we're talking about how to believe you're in your body again with an autoimmune pregnancy. This is actually one of our first pillars when we're in working with clients one-on-one, because we know that with everything going on and with your diagnoses, it's really easy to feel like your body is broken. And due to those high risks and potential horror stories of having autoimmune pregnancies, there's a really good chance that you maybe have lost hope, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, in your ability to have a healthy pregnancy. And so these are some of the things right off the bat we take care of so that you can feel like you can have faith in your body and that you can have a healthy pregnancy and enjoy your pregnancy. So, Michaela, do you want to talk about why this is a problem?
I would love to. You actually continue for a second because I'm doing some background things.
Cool. All right. So let me tell you guys about the problem. So why is this a problem? So if you go into anything in life with the attitude that you will most likely fail, you probably will fail. You bring that failure onto yourself. You have to reset your mind to a point of positivity so that you can actually achieve the positive things you're looking for. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that, because that's a little woo-woo for some people. But this is a very real thing. If we're bringing on stress, anxiety, and overwhelm into our bodies, into our pregnancies, if we want to have a healthy pregnancy, but we're constantly stressed, we're constantly overwhelmed, we're constantly have anxiety about whether, it's going to be a healthy pregnancy or not, that is more detrimental than, or just as detrimental as not taking care of your body physically. Not taking care of your body mentally will cause a physical reaction. Mm-hmm. If you're thinking that things are going to go wrong, they will go wrong. That's just how things work. But we need to bring faith and love towards our body during this time, whether maybe necessarily we believe it at first or not, because that's going to be the key to creating a environment, both mentally, physically, and mentally, for our bodies to thrive and survive. So, anything to add there, Michaela?
No, I think you did an amazing job, and I'm ready to talk about the solution if you're ready. Do you want to add anything before I move on?
I did want to add, now that I'm thinking about it, I did want to add a couple things. But basically, these things can manifest in so many different ways and in a belief in our body, because we feel like our bodies are broken. Not being able to enjoy foods, not just outside of aversions, but, saying like, oh, I can't eat this or I can't eat that. It's not healthy or unhealthy. Having a poor relationship with our body, a poor relationship with our food. And I know that sounds, again, kind of woo-woo, and then also at the same time, like movement, all of these things that seem relatively outside of the sphere that can bring us joy. A lot of times when we don't trust our body, we don't trust our relationships with these things that can bring us joy, and they basically become a point of stress for us. So all of these things, it's not just like the health of your pregnancy, but it's almost your day-to-days as well. So I just wanted to add that in there, because I think there's so many things that goes into it. And when we are able to enjoy our day-to-days, we're able to enjoy our bigger picture lives as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, that was so good. Snaps from Cassie, right in the comments. Let her know. But first, when we're talking about solutions, how do we start to believe in our body again, right? Like that is such a huge hurdle, and it's not an easy thing to do. And especially these are like subconscious beliefs. And, talking to so many women with autoimmune diagnoses, including myself, there is an underlying lack of belief in our bodies because it has let us down so many times, right? We go to the doctor's office and, oh, you got to up your medication for this, or, oh, you got to add your insulin because, oh, your A1C isn't good enough, or like, oh, like so many autoimmune diagnoses kind of leave you feeling like your body is broken and unable to care for itself. So how could we be expected to think that our body is wholly entirely prepared to have a baby? So I just wanted to have that kind of moment. I understand, and we understand that you feel like your body is just not there for you. And it's like, well, how can I believe in myself when I don't have the history, like I don't have data to suggest that my body is there for me. So yeah, wow, data, yes. But it's true though. So how do we start?
Liz. Liz said, heck yeah, this is great stuff. Love seeing you ladies out there killing it. Yes, thanks, Liz. Thanks for watching.
Love you. Share this if you want. But anyway, the more eyes, the better, right? Mama's maternal health. But anyway, how do we do this? First and foremost, we need to be concerned about our health and our pregnancy rather than anybody else's. So the minute that we are comparing ourselves and looking right online, there are so many different platforms, there's so many different Instagram accounts, Facebook pages, all these different things that say this is the right thing to do, this is the right thing to eat, this is the right lifestyle to lead, these are the right foods to avoid. Especially with autoimmune diagnoses, there are so many restrictive diets out there that are, you know, claimed to heal you when really it tends to just give you more anxiety and overwhelm about what you're consuming and eating, and like food's not fun anymore. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So moms, there are so many stories. There are so like people just want to share their stories. They want to share because that is what community is. However, if we start focusing on other people's stories more than our own, then we start to see the faults in our bodies, the faults in ourselves, the faults in how our body works. So first we need to stop. We need to stop all the other noise, because ultimately it's not helping you right now. And that information, you might say, Michaela, but I'm learning so much. But how much of that information is actually pertains to you and your health and your diagnosis? That's really the question. Probably very, very little. It's an overabundance of information that is only causing overwhelm and self-doubt. So second thing that we really want to do is breaking down limiting beliefs. So again, this is like subconscious stuff. And with pregnancy, like your mindset is huge. Your mindset is this is you becoming a mother. This is you bringing another human into this world, and your mindset impacts how you enjoy that pregnancy, how your baby feels your feelings. Like you want to be on top of your mindset. So one of the first things that we do with our clients has nothing to do with food or nutrition or lifestyle. It's actually really working on our limiting beliefs and our mindset. So this is a limiting beliefs exercise that we do for our clients. So grab a pen and paper. And if you'd like these questions, this exercise, comment below and we will message you and we'll email the questions to you. So don't feel like it's the end all be all, because we're going to go kind of fast through these, but definitely message us below if you want this limiting belief exercise. So these are the questions we go through. What is the limiting behavior that is holding you back? All right. So what is an example of this, Cassie, you think?
So this could be a number of things, but I mean, like, in this example, specifically, we could say that my body is broken and is incapable of having a healthy pregnancy.
Yes, especially if you've experienced lots of traumatic birthing or pregnancy stories, or like miscarriages or something like that. This is definitely something that we need to work through so we can get past this feeling. The second is the underlying limiting belief that's related to the behavior. So it goes into behavioral understanding as well. So Cassie, do you have an example of that off the top of your head?
The underlying limiting belief that's related to the behavior. So so what we said was that my body is broken because of my autoimmune diagnosis. So what is underlying limiting belief that's actually related to the behavior and limiting yourself? So I'd probably say, I mean, this is going to be different for every single person. As we know, but something like, I don't know, not wanting to try to have a healthy pregnancy because it's basically useless, because you're going to have an unhealthy pregnancy anyway because your body's broken. That's probably, I think that's a, whew.
Yeah, that was really good, Cassie. And then the source of the belief, if I could do that one, is like the source of belief is coming from the years upon years of going to doctor's visits and them saying there's something wrong with you. I mean, I've struggled with that in the past, and I have Hashimoto's since I was in middle school. So that's like my developmental years of saying, you don't work right. You know,
Yeah.
that's really deep.
Oh, Jean said, why is my body attacking myself? Yes, that's a great one. Yeah, like I feel like all of these, there's so much that goes into it. This stuff gets really deep. So if you are not prepared to do something that's really deep, don't even start this exercise. But if you're ready to actually combat these limiting beliefs and have a healthy pregnancy, then this will get you there. Okay, go for it, Michaela.
Absolutely. Okay. So what are the benefits of holding on to the belief? So an example of this could be like, actually, Cass, you've been doing really good with the examples. Do you have an example of benefit of holding on to the belief?
Sure. So one of the things is like acknowledging that our bodies do everything, and our bodies and our minds do everything to keep us safe, to help us survive. That's our basic mechanism. And so some of these, fears and limiting beliefs are things that things we've created subconsciously to keep ourselves safe. So there are benefits in a way. So recognizing that and acknowledging that our bodies have kept us safe and our minds have kept us safe by doing this. But we have to find out, we want to acknowledge that. So the first one is that, again, the benefits of holding on to the belief. So some of the benefits would be, maybe not having a pregnancy so that you don't experience the tragedy of miscarriage, or maybe you don't undergo the stress of a pregnancy on your body. There's so many things that could go into it, but basically, if your main desire is to actually have a healthy pregnancy and have like a healthy baby, these beliefs actually don't serve you, which goes into the next question if you want to get into that, Michaela.
Absolutely. Okay. So consequences of holding on to the belief. So right from Cassie said, a benefit may be I didn't have to transition to motherhood, and you might not want to admit that out loud, but it is, you don't have to take care of another human. But what is a consequence of holding on to the belief? You are still afraid of, you're not afraid, but you have yet to become a mom. Maybe that's it. So this is getting really intense, but
this one's getting deep.
There's getting the benefit, and the consequence is basically the same thing usually, because it's like it's kind of like your greatest attribute is also the hardest. So like for me, I'm very much of an empathy person. So I feel everything, which is really awesome. But the consequence is that I feel everything, which is draining. Is this ultimate truth? How can we find examples of falsehood behind this belief? So there are actually 11 questions in total. So I was thinking we could go through them all, but it's already 15 minutes into this live. So I'll just read out these questions. Is this the ultimate truth? How can we find examples of falsehood? The new thought based on the last question, you choose to believe instead to create a new empowering story. How do you feel after working through this biggest limiting belief? How does it feel to uncover the real truth and create a new reality on that? And what is the new truth that you are committed to creating? And how does this truth feel to you? So this is really something that we go through every single one of our clients. One of our breastfeeding clients, she went through it again, going into breastfeeding, and what are the limiting beliefs behind exclusively breastfeeding? Like it's a challenge. And so let's break it down. So anyway, we really wanted to show this to you of believing in our bodies again, because your body is powerful, your body is beautiful, your body is wonderful. And there's so many things going on in there, but it's time to celebrate it and know that our autoimmune diagnoses are not, we can love them in a different way. And they teach us so many things, and we can get through this. And so anyway, we wanted to share this with you. I hope this was very beneficial for you. Cass, do you want to add anything to those before we close out?
I don't think so. Yeah. So if you want this full exercise, obviously you're not going to just sit there and like, okay, let me write down what they said.
Yeah.
If you want this full exercise, message Michaela or I, and we will send you all of the questions typed up so that you can answer them on your own and go through this exercise on your own.
Amen. So anyway, like we were talking about, this is the first thing that we do with our private clients, our autoimmune mamas. So if you're interested in our program, it's a healthy autoimmune pregnancy protocol. So if that is something that you would be interested in learning more about, let us know. We'll put the information in the comments below. But thank you so much for coming out and supporting this live. Share it, tell your friends. We love y'all. And next time we're going to be on a couple more platforms at the same time. But this was learning